Today, let's read Twisters and the Other Terrible Storms of the Backpacker. There. Number 5. Twisters. Twisters or tornadoes often take people by surprise and can come very quickly during powerful thunderstorms. Once they hit the ground, they can travel faster than a running racehorse. Most twisters last for only a few minutes, but leave a path of terrible destruction behind. Tornado Alley. There are tornadoes all over the world, but most are restricted to the Midwestern of the United States. There are so many twisters in this area that people call this the Tornado Alley. Tornadoes in Tornado Alley usually happen in spring and early summer. At that time of year, very warm, moist air blows through the Gulf of Mexico. At the same time, warm, dry air blows to the east of the Rocky Mountains and cool, dry air blows from the top of Canada. In Tornado Alley, the cool air bumps into the warm air. The meeting caused many violent thunderstorms. Some of these thunderstorms gave birth to tornadoes. Nebraska, Kansas, Rocky Mountains, warm, dry air, cool, dry air. Missouri, warm, moist air. Texas, Mexico. That was not nice. During April, May, June, there are more than 30 twisters in Tornado Alley every week. How a tornado forms. The thunderstorm will likely give birth to tornadoes called supercells. Supercells are huge storms. They spread out over 100 square miles. Some last more than 3 hours. Most have hail, heavy rain, and very strong winds. This is a computer picture of a supercell. The hook shape means strong tornado might be about to form. Meteorologists didn't know exactly why some supercells create tornadoes and others do not, but they do have a good idea of what happens in a supercell while a tornado is forming. A strong wind blows over another wind coming from the opposite direction. This causes the air to spin like a barrel rolling on its side. An updraft knocks the spinning air on its end. Now it's spinning upright like a top. It happened like it's like a funnel cloud. Because the storm is spinning too, the funnel could spin faster and faster. It gets longer and longer. Eventually, it pushes down through the bottom of the storm cloud. And if this funnel cloud hits the ground, it's a tornado. Tornado damage. A wind squall in a tornado's funnel cloud reached 30 miles per hour. That's faster than the fastest race car in the world. Wind from a tornado can easily overturn trucks and destroy homes. That is not good either. The funnel cloud of tornadoes is like the house of gigantic vacuum cleaner. It sucks up everything it touches. Dirt, crops, cars, gutters, animals, people, and drops them farther along its path. Tornadoes have sucked up whole pond to everything in them. When the tornado dropped the water, he thought it was raining frogs and fish. Sometimes the tornadoes seem to hop along its path. Such a tornado can tear one house into pieces and leave the next one untouched. That is very terrible. Look, this house is dead, but this house is fine. I like to leap up. Tornado moves along grass at over 50 miles per hour. The paths can be up to a mile wide, but the path of most tornadoes is much more narrow. Twisters are fierce, but do not last very long. Most are over in just a few minutes. There are another kind of deadly storm that can last for days, even weeks. It's called a hurricane. Just Tornado Safety Guide. Here are some tips. Hurricane. Your house safe from tornadoes. 1. Know when a twister is coming. Listen to the radio and TV for tornado watches and warnings in your area. 2. Uh, a tornado watch means conditions are right. Tornadoes might be coming. Stay tuned for more information. A tornado warning means tornado have been spotted. Get ready. 2. Take shelter. Go to your basement or cellar if you have one. If you don't, go to the closest or bathroom to the first floor of your house. A room without windows is best. Stay inside till the storm is over. Keep a radio on. This is for an all clear message. Twister relatives. Waterspouts or tornadoes form over ocean lakes. The spinning winds suck up water. Water instead of dirt and dust. Waterspouts are not nearly as powerful as tornadoes. They rarely have wind speed over 50 miles per hour, but they can be very dangerous to boats in coastal towns. Dust devil. Some ancient people thought dust devils were ghosts. Dust devil. Dust devil happen mostly in desert areas on hot days. A dust devil sucks sand and dirt into a tall spinning tub. The tub can be half-mile high. Dust devils don't usually do much damage. Their wind speeds are less than 50 miles per hour. That's not very scary. Number 6. Hurricane. Hurricanes are the most dangerous storms on Earth. In 1992, a hurricane in Florida destroyed more than 25,000 homes. In 1970, a hurricane in Pakistan killed more than 300 people. Every year, hurricanes cause billions of dollars worth of property damage around the world. Why are hurricanes so deadly? The winds of a hurricane are only about half as fast as those of a tornado, but a hurricane can be 2,000 times as wide. And while a tornado can last an hour, hurricanes can rage for many days. Flooding from Hurricane Ginger. In 1971, Hurricane Ginger lasted for over 3 weeks. How hurricane forms. Hurricanes soar over the ocean. They begin as groups of thunderstorms near the equator. The area near the equator is called the tropics. The climate in the tropics is warmer than anywhere else on Earth. The warm temperature means the air in the tropics can hold lots of water vapor. A tropical storm happens when several thunderstorms join together over the ocean in the tropics. If conditions are right, the storm begins to spin together. If the spinning winds reach 39 miles per hour, it's a tropical storm. As tropical storm drifts across the ocean, it picks up more and more moist ocean air. It spins faster and grows larger. Here's the flooding from the Hurricane Ginger. You might be surprised. Something's wrong, right? If the winds of tropical storms reach 74 miles per hour, it's a hurricane. In Hurricane Georges in 1998. That was terrible. The eye of the hurricane. The center of the hurricane is the eye. In most hurricanes, the weather in the eye is very different from the raging storms around it. The air in the eye is usually calm. The temperature is warm. The sun shines down from above. When the eye of a hurricane passes over, it might seem that the storm has ended. But once the eye has passed, the storm begins again. That's because the hurricane is just a viewpoint on the other side. Hurricane damage. By the time the hurricane reaches shore, it is 500 miles away. The winds can blow at speeds over 150 miles per hour. A hurricane winds can blow down office buildings, fires, power lines, and homes. They can rip trees by the roots. In 1989, Hurricane Hugo completely destroyed several forests in South Carolina. Here it does. Hurricanes also sometimes give birth to tornadoes. Those winds do more damage. One hurricane also cause terrible destruction. A hurricane can dump several feet or rain in just a few days. It causes ocean is about 50 feet high. It is the Hurricane Felix, 1995. Rain from the hurricane can make rivers and streams overflow with areas hundreds of miles away from the center of the storm. A flooding destroyed homes and crops. This is Hurricane Floyd, 1999. It is flooded. Storm surges. The worst hurricane damage often caused by storm surge. A storm surge is like a general flood pushed on shore by hurricane winds. Hurricane Carol in 1954. The storm surge of a powerful hurricane can cause coastal waters to rise 20 feet above normal. That means every building near the ocean shorter than 2 stories could be underwater. That's sad. Well, a storm. Yeah. I like the depth of the hurricane. The cold storms, the hurricane ends if there's no more warm, moist air to keep going. Once it begins to travel the land, the hurricane becomes less and less violent. It eventually became just another rainstorm. Finally, it dies away completely. Unfortunately, most hurricanes that hit onshore do serious damage before this happens. Naming hurricanes. Hurricanes are names of meteorologists and everyone else can keep track of them. Hurricanes get their names when they're tropical storms. Each year, the first tropical storm of the season is given a name beginning with A. While the rest of the season, name each land tropical storm begin with the next letter alphabet. It's a tropical storm because the hurricane keeps the name. Violent. This season's first hurricane is Hurricane Annie. In 1979, hurricanes had girls' names. Now they have boys' names too. Annie. Hurricane Annie. That's nice. Andrew, the historic hurricane. Hurricane Andrew hit Florida at dawn on August 24, 1992. Andrew rocked over Florida for 2 days, then roared into Louisiana. Hurricane Andrew caused over $30 billion in damage. It was the costliest natural disaster in the history of the United States. Oh dear. Unfortunately, a few lives were lost because the National Hurricane Center warned people that Hurricane Andrew was coming. Nearly 3 million people in Florida, Louisiana, and Texas left their homes and fled to safety. Number 7. Blizzards. Tornadoes usually strike in spring and summer. There. No hurricanes rage in the fall. Blizzards are storms that happen in the winter. Winter storms often produce snow instead of rain. That's because in winter the air inside clouds and the air below is much cooler. When the water vapor condenses inside the very cool clouds, what does it freeze into the ice crystals? The crystals blow around inside the clouds, stick to each other. And they grow too big and heavy to be carried by moving in the air inside the cloud, they fall snowflakes. Fall weather can be beautiful and gentle, but when very cold temperatures, strong winds and snowfall combined, we have blizzards. In a blizzard, winds over 35 miles per hour blow the snow with great force. Sometimes there's so much blowing snow that you can't see anything at all. Let's go to whiteout. Silver Slick. Do you think this is Silver Slick? Well, it wasn't. Blizzards claim fewer lives than hurricanes or tornadoes, but are still very dangerous. They can knock out electricity for a whole city. They can strand people in their homes in days or even weeks. They can cause car accidents and plane crashes. The blizzard of 1888. One worst blizzard in history happened over hundreds of years ago in New York City. On March 12, 1988, the people in New York were expecting spring weather to arrive soon. In the late afternoon, a gentle rain began falling. A weather forecast called for a few light snow flurries. The flower was wrong. The temperature fell during the night. The light rain became heavy snow. the wind picked up. By that the next day, the wind was blowing at 75 miles per hour. It ripped roofs of buildings. It tore down telephone lines. It covered whole houses with snow. The newspaper reported that people on the street was blown around like goals. They were stranded at homes or offices. Hundreds of people died in New York during the blizzard. Hundreds more were killed as blizzard racked from Miami to Maryland. People in New York did not know the blizzard was coming. They had no time to prepare. Street deaths might have been prevented as the weather forecast in those states had been more accurate. Darwin and his science fiction. Snow in a blizzard is dangerous, but snow can also be fun. Snowstorms have 6 sides. But no two snowflakes are exactly alike. Wow! Here's a way you can study snowflakes up close. Pull a piece of black concrete in paper freeze overnight. Take a mirror outside when it's snowing. Catch some snowflakes on the paper. Look at flakes in a magnifying glass. Draw all the shapes you see. Chapter 8. Storm Prediction. Meteorologists can't stop tornadoes, hurricanes, or blizzards. It's easier to have saved thousands of lives by letting people know when storms are coming. Meteorologists have many ways of figuring out what the weather will probably be like from day to day. The secret of predicting the weather is getting lots of information. Weather watching. There are over 50,000 weather stations around the world. Instruments at the weather stations measure the temperature of the air. They record the wind direction and speed. They check for any changes in humidity. High above the weather station, special weather planes fly through storm clouds. A plane takes pictures, they check air temperature and wind speed, they measure the humidity and the air pressure. All these planes can fly into the eye of the hurricane. Twice a day, meteorologists around the world send weather balloons even higher into the sky. Instruments in the balloons check the weather in conditions many miles above the ground. Here's the weather balloon. It's so cute. From space, weather satellites take pictures of Earth. The pictures show where storms are forming. Sometimes the camera shows areas with hot or cold temperatures. By satellite. Satellite pictures can tell meteorologists how fast a hurricane is moving. They can consult where a supercell might create a tornado. The satellite photo of the Hurricane Anita, 1977. That's nice. The radar dish. Meteorologists also use radar to help them predict storms. Radar uses radio waves to note tiny changes in humidity and rainfall. Radar can show where the heaviest rain is falling in a hurricane. You can find the storms most likely to produce tornadoes. Making predictions. Meteorologists use computers to help turn all this information into weather forecasts. Accurate information helps them predict them when where a storm is likely to hit. If a storm is very served, people are told to get out of this area. The less served storms, they are told to take shelter, stock up on food, and prepare for the bad weather to come. Meteorologists keep learning better ways to predict the weather. The more they learn, the more lives will be saved. Storm chasers. Some people study thunderstorms and other storms up close. These people call themselves storm chasers. Storm chasers learn where tornadoes about to strike. They race to the spot and get shadow instruments to gather information from the inside the storm. They take photos and videos, and they get inside the way before the storm hits. The information storm chasers gather is useful to help them predict storms. They also help meteorologists understand how and why storms form. But the storm chasing is very dangerous. And if the storm is about to hit the area, stay inside. Listen to the radio or watch television to find out what you want to do. The best way to keep safe is to know where a storm is coming so you can be ready. Remember, a storm can be exciting, but they are a very dangerous part of our weather. The weather at work. Blizzard, hurricanes, blizzard, and do lots of damage every year. The storms do a lot of good too. Thunderstorms cool up hot days and bring needed water to crops. Heavy rains clean the air. Melting snow from blizzards in our winter storms fades rivers and streams. Winds blowing around Earth help keep any place from getting too hot or too cold. Changing the water also makes life interesting. I imagined that it would be like the weather exactly the same every day. You gotta have fun being a young meteorologist. Check out the weather where you live. Draw pictures with different kinds of clouds. Measure the rainfall in your own backyard. Make notes on how the weather changes and how it makes you feel. Weather is an amazing and wonderful parallel world. Enjoy it! That's the end of the book I want to read today. It's quite terrible, but exciting.